Hey everyone, happy Monday and welcome to today's live. I'm the Urban Seer, your guide to love, destiny and manifesting the life you desire. I hope you're all doing well. Happy Easter to those that celebrate, or happy bank holiday who have had a long weekend and maybe a slightly nicer, longer break off work. That's what's happening for us here in the UK. Before we begin, just a gentle reminder of how I read during these lives. I'm an energy reader and read intuitively for the questions I'm drawn to. If you'd like to be considered for a reading, please submit your name, like, number and question via the pinned link. The more context and detail that you share, the deeper and more meaningful reading that I can give you that will be received. And a reminder, I don't do yes, no, general or timeline questions. And I don't cover pregnancy, health or legal matters, so just bear that in mind when asking your questions. But let's take a deep breath in, center our energy, allow yourself to settle in, soften and arrive to this space, the Seer circle, and see what messages that Spirit has for us today. Okay, let's get into it. Hey to everyone on the chat. Hey Namira, happy Easter. Hey country. Philia, Tia, Samreen, lovely to see you all. Welcome to the space. So first up we have Philia. Did anyone get any Easter eggs? If that's what's going on, if you're celebrating Easter. Just give me a shout out, Philia. I can know you're here. Just give me a thumbs up that you're present. And we'll get into it. I'm using the Muse Tarot deck today. Ganesh is with us as always. Hey Samreen, happy Easter. Glad you could make it, my love. Hey Anne, long time no see. So glad to have you back in the space. Welcome, welcome. Philia, just give us a shout out that you're here. Give me a thumbs up. There we go. Thanks, Philia. Country says, I gathered chicken eggs, if that counts. Absolutely. The best kind of eggs. So you keep chickens, Country. You have to tell us more about that. That's a sort of dream of mine. I've heard that they're wonderful pets. Okay, Philia, this is for you. Philia asks, so after much thinking, I decided to text Eric a happy birthday. Beautiful. And like you said, he responded positively. Awesome. We are making plans to meet up, but both really nervous at the same time. How exciting, Philia. Can you please check the energy around this situation? Absolutely. Hey, Geeta. Okay, Philia, that's exciting news. Exciting movement. Let's see what the energy is around this, Spirit. Five of Emotions, focusing on what remains, the potential that is left. Five of Emotions is after, I think here, maybe like the sadness and the loss that has maybe occurred in this historically, in this past connection. Like in the traditional deck, the Rider-Waite, the Five of Emotions or the Five of Cups is when we see 5 cups. 3 cups are upturned, the contents is spilled, but 2 cups remain. And this card asks us to focus on what remains and not what is lost. So there's an element here of a fresh start in many ways, and being mindful not to focus too much maybe on the past and the history, and the disappointments and the losses, but instead to look at what remains and what do we do with that? How do we move forward with that? Let's keep going. Oh, another 5. This is interesting. Again, some kind of, this is strange, some kind of like lack mentality coming from somewhere. I don't know how this resonates for you, Philia, with regards to maybe feeling like maybe you went through a period of feeling like that this was totally over and this was totally lost. Maybe Eric felt that as well, but can you see how this connection remains? Both these cards ask us to be mindful of our mindset, because 5 of materials again is about a kind of a lack mentality and how that can keep us in this dark place and in this sadness, when actually there's another way. There is a gateway here that leads us to what we want. The 5 of Cups as well is kind of when we are consumed with the sadness and the disappointment of a situation, and that we miss the potential and the what remains. So Philia, let me know in the chat if that resonates, because this is kind of interesting energy. It feels more complicated and more complex. The situation, I suppose, is complex. And finally, last but not least, we have the 6 of Voices. Again, this, despite everything, this connection remains, yeah? We felt alone, we felt isolated. Both of you, I think separately, being separated, have felt you've been separate, but you felt the connection. The 6 of Voices, moving from a difficult time, these 5s. So we move from a 5 to a 6, so there is development, there is change here, and we move into calmer waters. Again, it asks us to really forget the past to a certain extent and start anew, start afresh. So the complexities of the past are trying to maybe take us down. Our mindset is trying to take us down, maybe convince us that this connection can't work, that it's lost, that it's never going to work. Maybe it feels safer, self-preservation, to kind of not to think the worst, and Spirit is asking you to switch that up, yeah? Allow yourself to hope, allow yourself to see that it's possible to move into something more positive. And this connection can evolve and develop, but it does need to change. We can't go back to what we were. This has to be seen as a fresh start. Okay, I hope that resonates. Yeah, both sad. Exactly, Philia. Both sad. So allow yourself to be hopeful. Allow yourself, that's what these cards are saying, to not allow our thought process to think the worst, hold us back, pull us down. Almost apply, just sort of dumb optimism and positivity to this situation. Hey Danny, I'm glad that you could make it. Geeta, thank you for moderating. Hey Ivo, lovely to see you. Okay, so Samreen, my love, are you here? Hoping Samreen is able to catch us again today. Thank you, Geeta. You're welcome, Philia. Keep us posted. Hey Eco, thanks for letting me know you're here. Hey, Samreen, let me grab your question. It's a long one, so bear with me. Okay, this is for Samreen. Thank you, Namira, for moderating as well. Much appreciated. Okay, so Samreen asks, I want to ask about my past relationship with someone I worked with. I remember them well, if that's who we looked at for some time. After we separated, he moved ahead in life. He got promoted, went on vacation, and he's now married and on his honeymoon. Meanwhile, I feel like my life has been stagnant with no stable relationship or career growth. That's tough, Samreen. I had moved on from him, but I always believed I would settle down before he did. It's difficult to come to terms with the opposite happening. Absolutely. I also went against my family and took a stand for him, yet he never truly showed up for me. That's painful. I find myself wondering where he will find peace, whether he will truly find peace and happiness in his marriage. Yes, the office co-worker. I remember that well. Okay, so let's have a look at his energy now, where he's at. I mean, he's on his honeymoon, so... But let's dig deeper into this, yeah? Interesting. Queen of Voices. Says you will be victorious. You will have your day in the sun, Samreen. Timing, divine timing, you know, if he gets there first, you get there. It really, I would say you need to, that's not what's important, that's not what matters. I can relate, I can understand how that is painful. But what's more important is what does your victory and success look like? Six of Inspiration, but you will get there. You will reach that. And yours was maybe not destined to be on his path. You know, he has his path, you have yours. So this is reassuring. This comes through to say, you know, you're not feeling it now, but you will get there. You will get your day in the sun. We don't know what that will look like, but we keep manifesting, we keep striving, we keep going for that, yeah? So, and that's what matters. Not when it happens, but if it happens, yeah? I hope it happens for you as soon as possible, but I'm just going to see what this Queen of Swords, Queen of Voices or Queen of Swords energy, where this applies to. I'm just going to pull one specifically on his energy. So I think he's in his honeymoon bubble right now. This 10 of Emotions is about, you know, feeling like that you've got what you wanted. It's emotional satisfaction. So that is that has come through for current energy now, but I mean that would be quite natural for, you know, they literally call it like the honeymoon period, when you were in a kind of pink cloud and they're enjoying it right now. Three of inspiration, waiting for the promise that your ships will come in. Stuff is happening behind the scenes, even if you can't see it in the 3D, but the wind just needs to change to create this domino effect for you and to move things forward in the right direction. The Queen of Voices, yeah, is about being committed to her truth. And I think that this is the energy that you need to tap into to view this and be more head over heart with him. That I think that, you know, this Queen of Voices that you were authentic in being who you were. You showed up for him and there was no shame. There was nothing wrong with that. This is you also in your Empress energy, that you are a strong person. You've got lots to offer. You are strong-minded and speak your truth, and you should never regret that. And you should never hold back on that. And if he wasn't able to value that, or see that in you and appreciate it, he maybe wanted someone who was more submissive, who wasn't as strong, who would go along with maybe just what he wanted, someone more passive. Because this is showing a lot of strong energy, which I think is you, Samreen. Strong-minded, you don't hold back, you'll speak the truth. The Empress has, you know, a universe literally inside her here. You know, this is your kind of love inside as well, but it's still very strong. It's not to say that you're a cold person. You are the opposite of that, in the sense of someone who is authentic and committed to their truth has a lot of depth. And if he couldn't recognize that, and if he couldn't see that and couldn't appreciate that, then that's on him, and that's where he's at on his journey, his destiny, his evolvement, yeah? So I think Spirit is really kind of saying, it's a waste of energy. He doesn't deserve your focus and your time to be on him, and his success can't take away or stop you from your journey and your success and that path, yeah? So I hope that resonated, Samreen. Samreen says, I honestly have made some very stupid decisions in my life, being love in wrong people, standing up for wrong people, invested time in wrong people. Lots of us have, Samreen, lots of us have. And maybe now, for the position that I would say, you know, falling in love, and don't give yourself so much of a hard time. It sounds like you've been really hard on yourself. And it's good to learn from our mistakes and to question who we give our energy to. But also, you know, we did what we did at the time with the information and the knowledge that we had. You've got a lot to offer. You are very strong and you are committed to your truth and you are authentic. So don't forget that, you know, and if someone's not able to see that and value that, you got yourself out of that situation, you walked away, you moved on, and that's all that we can do, yeah? And then there is the promise of success. So hold that image in your mind. Focus on you. Don't give them any more of your precious energy. I hope that resonates, Samreen. Samreen says, thank you so much. I know you don't pull this many cards, but you did for me today. Yeah, it's fine. wanted to get, I like to get to the bottom of these. I never regret any of my actions, even when I messaged him the reconciliation message long back and he said he doesn't want to do anything with me. Respected it, yeah. Yeah, I'm glad you don't regret your actions. Okay. Let's keep going. Shruti, is Shruti here? Hey, Diamond Girl. And yeah, PB Neat, just submit your question via the pinned comment, like Country said. Hey, don't be stalking me. Shruti, 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 are you here? I don't think I've seen Shruti. I know Geeta's here. I'll circle back if Shruti turns up soon. I'll read for Geeta now. Hey Geeta. Okay. So Geeta asks, hi dear, I'm feeling not well. I feel alone. I'm sorry, Geeta. I'm not in contact with Prem. I don't know what he's thinking, how he's feeling. I don't know his connection, if the connection is still there or not. I don't know anything. I feel all alone. Not sure why you're facing this situation, what the outcome in this connection, if there's any hope in the future. Don't apologise for asking again and again. This is okay. I understand. There's no judgment here. Okay, Geeta. So let's pull a card on this connection, taking that all into account. This is you having to be really strong, Geeta. You are holding space for this connection. This is about, your energy as well, your feelings, your kind of emotional life. And this is like a boundary or a container. And this woman is having to have her arms outstretched and like try really hard, give a lot of energy to hold this space. And there's a few questions here. The Seven of Inspiration is about having boundaries, about what's acceptable for you and what's not in, say, connections and relationships. And I think Spirit is asking you, holding this connection, holding space for this connection is taking a lot of energy, and asking you to self-reflect if this is what you want to continue to do and to continue to give your energy to this. Considering that, it's been hot and cold, it's on and off, there's not enough coming back, it is making you feel alone. So what I would say is, I always say this to people who are in a connection that is tricky, that is up and down, is sometimes maybe to focus your energy on, we don't have to close the door on this connection, but can we explore other options? Can we focus on something? It doesn't even have to be about finding a new connection. If you feel drawn to explore that, then follow that. But it could just be about putting more energy into yourself, filling your own cup. If none of those things feel right and it feels like what you want to do and where you're at right now, all you can do is hold space for this connection, then just do that with intention and kind of commit to that. But that's what I think the universe is bringing this card through. It's to say, look, this connection is taking a lot of your energy. Do you really want to continue doing this? There is no right or wrong answer to that question either. But we can either continue to hold on to this tight and say, right, I'm going to give it my all and I'm going to hold space and I'm going to wait this out wherever it takes me. Or you might feel like, actually, I'm going to turn the pressure down on this a bit. I'm going to look at other aspects of my life. I'm going to either look at other connections, or I'm going to just do stuff that makes me happy, hobbies, fill my cup, and stop thinking about them, distract myself to stop thinking about them and giving them so much energy. I'm going to pull one more card just to dig a bit deeper. Exactly, don't be stalking me. It's our free will. Gita says, I didn't send him an email. Like I say, there's no right or wrong answer. It's not wrong to keep giving your energy to this. But to recognize, all I'm trying to say is to recognize that that's what's happening and that's what it's demanding from you. It's taking a lot at the minute. I think this is about a new way of looking at it. Ace of Materials, it's earth energy, it's grounded energy. It's like, you see how focused this person is. And I think it's important, Gita, to be like intentional for you about what the next step, to make you feel more in control. The connection, lives on. It's like, this is what came up earlier as well. The connection is still there. It's still active. It still exists. We are moving. It is a hopeful card, this, actually, the Six of Voices, because it is moving from a turbulent time into a calmer time. I think this Ace of Materials is about, making sure that you stay in a routine of your own life, and not to protect your energy more. So Ace of Materials is very practical, so it can just be about routines. And when you find yourself maybe spiraling emotionally or mentally about Prem, to try and distract yourself, have things in place intentionally, say go out for a walk, make a nice meal, even like clean the house, just do anything really, work, hobby, something practical to create some kind of structure and container, just like this, a container of sorts, to stop yourself emotionally spiraling. And also commit to an intention about, I'm going to see this through. It can change at any time, but kind of make a decision, I'm going to wait this out and I'm committed to Prem, or I'm going to try to distance myself from them, explore other options, whatever makes you feel better in that moment about how to approach this. However, we do have a card of hope about, like I say, there is some kind of transition happening. But we do know with Prem, there's a history here of them being hot and cold. This has been going on for at least all the time that I've been reading for you. So it does raise questions about how far, how much this can change. and you might just get more of the same. We may go into a good period again, but then there'll always be maybe a bad period looming where the contact stops. Okay, I'll leave it there. I hope that resonated. Hey, Sruthi. No worries, I'm glad you could make it. Yeah, I'm sorry I had to move the time. Geeta says, I'm only fighting. He didn't put effort in, so I'm going silent and stop thinking about him. Yeah. Focus, protect your energy and focus yourself. Yeah. Hey, Shruti, this is for you. Yeah, sorry for those that saw. I had to bump this forward an hour, so I'm glad you could make it. Okay, so Shruti asks, hi Seer, just like you predicted in a reading, I met 3 men. Awesome, but I am curious, you have 3 suitors. That's crazy, fantastic. Can you describe my future partner's career success, financial stability, and emotional maturity? I can certainly ask for an energy read on, let's see what Spirit says. Sometimes Spirit won't reveal that answer, but we'll have a look. Well, we have marriage, card of marriage for inspiration, commitment, stability, a celebration. So I feel like this is touching on more though about just the nature of the relationship and the connection and what's surrounding your energy field at the moment, Suthi. There's a kind of high potential that, you know, for one of these suitors will turn into this kind of energy. Yeah, let's see if we can get a read more on them, their character traits, an energy read on them. Whoa, look at all that. The cards. Big transformation. So this is a big transformation for them as well. Obviously meeting someone of great importance, like say a spouse, if that's what we're looking at here. You know, this is a partner, like you say, a proper future partner, someone to commit to, something that is long-term, marriage. We've got the Death card, which is really also, you know, some people freak out the Death card, but it's actually just a card of transformation. So they're going through a transformation. This is a big transformation for you. It will be a death of the old life and you will start a new life together, which is emerging. Final ask, but Spirit might not say. It's saying more on the relationship and on the process. Sometimes it's not the right time for it to be revealed. Maybe Spirit wants you to stay open to these 3 suitors, to that there's lessons to be learned, there's information to be gained. Nothing is set in stone as yet as well, because destiny, depending on your view of destiny, I see it as that it's a combination of, there are multiple timelines that we can tap in based on what is offered to us and our co-creation, our decision, our feelings. Yeah. But I know some people believe that our destiny is fixed, which is different, where I believe that there's multiple timelines that we can go down. Can you tell me, Spirit, anything about this suitor, the Sruthi's future partner? No. I think this has happened last time, that it was almost like a process of elimination. It will become clear in time, Sruthi, obviously. But what will happen is, I think that this is, you know, what's on the table. This is what's coming down the track for you. There is a connection here that offers, say, that level of commitment, stability, and marriage. It's a big deal. It's a major arcana. It's obviously a big deal for both of you. It will be the death of an old life and the beginning of the new. And there will be things to release and let go of in that journey. And this chrysalis is beginning to bust open and it's beginning to emerge. What I think is, you might have trouble deciding. I feel like there's 3 suitors at the moment. It will be whittled down to 2. And then this is where you'll have some maybe anxiety about maybe being faced with the decision of having to commit to one. One person, 1 out of these 3 will probably just fall away, and it'll become clear that they're not right for you for whatever reason. Then I feel like we'll come down to a choice of 2. And at this point, it will causing a bit of stress and anxiety. And the advice always with the 2 of voices is we have to go within at this point. So try to tune out voices around you. Maybe certain people will be trying to say to you, this is the right person. Others will be saying, you know, everyone will put their opinion in. And don't look externally for answers. This is what this blindfold represents. It's about going within. It's about self-reflection. It's about trusting, tapping into your higher self, your gut. You know, it's really important to meditate and stay calm and listen to that inner voice at that time. It always is, but then more than ever. So that's the timeline that Spirit has shown us, and it for whatever reason, it's not ready or it's not right to reveal who your person is at this time, but it has given us information about what's available to us, how it will happen, and where you will find yourself as things develop. At a crossroads. 2 of voices, 2 of swords, 2 of voices is a crossroads. It's like a big decision, a life-changing decision. I'm going to take this path, I'm going to take that path. It's a fork in the road, and your intuition is your biggest friend at that time. Okay, I'll leave it there, Sruthi. Hope that resonated. It's true, Geeta. Sruthi says, I feel troubled between them. Yeah. Okay. Let's keep going. I want to get through as many people as I can. Thank you, Geeta. So, Danny baby, are you here? There she is. Awesome. Hey, girl. Hey. Okay, so Danny asks, hey, Seer, what are Shaquille the Pisces' true feelings for me? He came back very persistent, interesting. And Seer, I fell for it after a few weeks. Understandable. If someone's so persistent, it's hard to resist that. But I just can't trust him. He said he would like us to try again. Okay, let's have a look at this, Danny. Let's have a look at his true feelings for you. Is this something genuine? It is. Ace of Emotions. Cups. Love, romance, feelings. This is a genuine intention. Okay, there are real feelings here, Danny, from them to you. Very clear answer. Ace of Emotions is about a fresh start, a new beginning, which is exactly what he said. He said he would like us to try again. I know you have mixed feelings about that. I'm gonna pull more cards to dig into that, but I would say they're coming from, you know, putting their character aside, say, and the history of what's gone on. This move that they've made towards you does come from a real and genuine place. Okay? Danny says, the way he is just doesn't sit well with me. Okay. He's so secretive and he makes decisions without considering me. So that's a kind of separate issue and separate, like you say, what I mentioned, like that's his character. So it might not be right for you. But this is good to know that with all his flaws, with who he is, this intention to you at the moment is genuine. It doesn't mean that it can't get messy, or it doesn't mean that he can necessarily offer you what you need. But with where he's at, this is a genuine offer of love and a genuine offer of wanting to start again. But let's have a look a bit deeper about, you know, these reservations that you have. Yeah, that's attractive, isn't it, Danny? She says, yeah, he really tries to be with me, and I like that. So it's nice to be wanted, to be needed. Heartbreak. I feel like this is his energy. Still healing. Still heartbroken. This could be telling us more about why it could be directly related to you, that he's actually was quite heartbroken by it not working out with you. Or it could be that why he's secretive, why he is the way he is that there is some past hurt and pain. Now, this doesn't excuse the behavior, the bad behavior at all, but the Three Voices is about pain, heartbreak, and there is some wounds that need to be healed there. So take what resonates, leave what doesn't with that. Both things can be true as well. It can be an old pain, old hurt, you know, even going back to childhood that we all carry, that is still weighing, they haven't really dealt with it and it's weighing heavy on them now, and they're bringing that to this relationship. And it can be that the fact that it didn't work out with you did really hurt them and break their heart. Like I say, take what resonates, leave what doesn't with that. Advice. Both things resonate, yeah. So advice for you, how to move forward with all that. There's a lot to there's a lot to take in here. 10 of Inspiration. Putting burdens down. 10 of Inspiration is I feel like it's important, Danny, always to focus your energy. I mean, all the time it's true, but particularly for you at the moment, because you've got a lot on, is what came to mind was what makes your life easier, what makes it more difficult. 10 of Inspiration is about putting burdens down. Someone who is maybe burnt out, who is busy, you know, you've had a long journey to get to where you are now. I know that you're working a lot, you've got your little boy, you've got your housing situation, you know, there is lots of plates spinning here. And what came through was, what makes does this person, if they're making your life easier or lightening the load, then enjoy it for what it is. As soon as it kind of becomes a problem, or if you feel like already that it's causing you stress or adding to your burdens, then draw a line under that. It's easier said than done. I understand that, but I feel like that needs to be your inner compass at the moment. Is this person making my life easier, or are they adding to my burdens and making it harder? And lead with that, and keep leading with that. And with Shaquille, you know, they've got issues, they've got baggage, they do also have genuine feelings for you. If it's fun at the moment, if you're able to enjoy it and it's making things, yeah. Danny says, I'm very tired. Yeah, I told him I need peace. I can't handle anymore. Exactly. I have to learn to enjoy it for what it is. Okay, so if you think this is more stress, if this feels like trouble, more stress, more on your plate, then yeah, maybe walking away is the right. You just need to do what's right for you and be selfish in a good way. Yeah, don't worry, don't take his problems on. There really isn't the time and space for that. Okay, I'll leave it there, Danny. I hope that resonated. Thank you, Geeta and Namira, for moderating. Yeah, no space for other people's problems anymore, Danny. You too, Danny. Glad it resonated. Okay, hey Anne, thanks for letting me know that you're here. So Anne asks, what can I expect in the next 8 months from April to December? That's a very specific timeline, Anne. Is something happening, particularly with your work in that period? Let's see what the energy is though in terms of your career. What is happening in those 8 months? Or is it just to the end of the year? Oh, nice. Materials is earth energy. It's all about work, money, career. We see this beautiful horse. In this deck, the Knight of Pentacles is a bit more lively. In the kind of traditional deck, the Knight of Materials is quite ploddy energy. It's we will move, you will progress in your career. You will progress financially as well. The Knight of Materials is like saying you're on the right track. And what the goal is kind of to develop into, you know, the Queen of Materials or the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Materials. And we're at the kind of Knight stage. So we're still honing our craft. There's still a lot to learn. Yeah, it's a beautiful card, isn't it? Adorned with all these flowers in the hair, this big kind of succulent in the background, which feels abundant. And there's some joy and happiness in this card because this horse has actually picked up speed enough to go to a gallop. You know, they're not plodding, are they? They're galloping. So that suggests movement, change, progress at a good pace. So try to as well not to enjoy the journey. I think not to overstretch yourself and kind of want to skip the step of maybe going to jump to the queen or the king of materials, but it's okay to be at the knight stage. Every stage is necessary. And the knight is really about, yeah, honing your craft to become an expert, learning. So if you've got any kind of mentors may come up in this timeline, but there's a lot to learn. One more card, please. Five of inspiration, some internal or external conflicts. The five of inspiration, things could, you may have some doubts, you may have some, am I going in the right direction, am I not? Then you may even have disagreements in the workplace with certain people who there's some conflict even. But with the five of inspiration, it feels at the time quite intense, but actually no real harm is being done. And this kind of energy blows over. So say if you're having doubts, for instance, they may feel very intense at the time, but this card comes through to say, don't be too reactive, don't make any big decisions when we're feeling this. Allow it to blow. More than likely it will blow over, and we will just regain and kind of come back to this Knight of Materials progression. Yeah, but it's natural to have a bit of conflict, internal and external, along the way. Just try not to be too reactive. Just consistently show up. That's all that the universe asks of you, to be reliable, to be consistent, and to keep showing up. I like, there's this quote that says 80% of success is showing up. And I think the rest, the 20%, is a combination of talent and luck. But 80% of success is showing up. And it's surprising that a lot of people actually struggle to do that consistently. Okay, I'll leave it there, Anne. Anne says that I'm going through a mental conflict. Okay. So like the cards would say, I would think, journal, meditate. Don't make any big decisions when we are feeling this. Give yourself some time, give yourself some grace until you are certain about what the right next move is, and that's coming from a place of inner calm and peace, and what does your higher self tell you to do, rather from a place of fear. Anne says, my boss is very demanding and I feel like I'm not being treated fairly given my skills. Okay. Well, that's a separate question. Maybe we could look at that and that particular dynamic, another live session, and dig into that more. Eco 7, are you here, my dear? Country, I see your updated question. Hey, Eco. Okay. So Eco asks, what will be my energy surrounding manifestation towards long-term goal in the work field? Please let me know if I need to apply something. Okay. So particularly around your manifestation process, let's see what Spirit says. If there's anything blocking you, anything you need to lean into more. Strength, it's Major Arcana. The Strength card asks us to be strong, but not to be rigid. So often when we think of strength, we think we have to be, you know, like immovable and kind of stubborn and like a brick wall in a way, you know, like just really, that's how most people would think of with strength. But actually the kind of the strongest, I think one of the more sort of stronger plants is like, you know, bamboo, if we think of that and how that it can bend. So if the wind comes, if resistance comes, we can bend and we can be flexible. And it's also, the Strength card is about being courageous. There's a lot of and brave. So those are the biggest things to implement on your journey, to be strong but to remain gentle and flexible, so we don't have to use force. So in manifestation, what can be a very tricky point in the manifestation process is letting go. So we can have this woman here, this is your energy, Eco, holding the vision atop your lion of courage, bravery, all qualities that you have that you can draw on to take these risks that are necessary, to think big, to be creative. But it also asks us to let go about maybe how that would look. Rejection is redirection, that kind of energy. I'm going to pull one more. Three of inspiration. The ships will come in. So if there are delays or lags, the Three of inspiration is that kind of belief and promise of really believing that the ships being your manifestations, that they are on their way to you. So that's just tidying up really the mindset, having a very strong mental diet. So if doubts come up and creep in, which are inevitable, that doubts can creep in when we're manifesting, and thinking the 3D doesn't look how we thought it would look or want it to look. But the Three of inspiration just keeps asking us to live in the end and trust that the ships will come in, and all it takes really is for this wind change. There is a domino effect happening. So from just one little step from you or your vision, holding that vision, can set off a whole chain of events to unfold to what you want and where you're going. And they look similar, don't they? That this is you, you know, both times. Like echoing those women look the same. So your strength and courage is your superpower. We just have to make sure we don't get too rigid. We need to remain flexible and gentle with that energy. And then trust, and just one change of the wind, you know, anything can happen in the next 10 minutes. You know, it's that belief and understanding and trusting really divine timing, because manifesting can require a lot of patience to align with our desires and frequency. Okay, I'll leave that there. I hope that resonated. Okay, Namira, my love, you are up next. I'm glad that resonates, Eco. Okay. Namira, this is for you. So Namira asks, Hi Seer, happy Easter. Happy Easter to you, Namira, as well. I dreamed 2 days ago about Alexander and he was happy to see me. Beautiful. In the dream, I asked him why he didn't respond to me and said that so much was going on. He wanted to protect me. What could the message in this dream could be? It was all peaceful in the dream. Well, I feel like that the answer was in the dream, Namira, that, you know, that felt like, you know, that you maybe really met in the dream time, which I believe can happen. And that was like a real conversation that happened in, you know, in a different dimension, on a different timeline, in what we would call the dream time. So you were able to ask Alexander, you know, a direct question, and he gave you a direct response. So first and foremost, I would really take that in and believe that. And maybe this is something that you could do again if you've heard of lucid dreaming. Maybe that's something that you already do, but it's where you can actively kind of make choices and decisions when you're dreaming. You know, on the astral plane, if anyone here may do this or if it's explored this, it's called lucid dreaming, where you can look at this. 2 of emotions falls out, so you have this bond, this connection, and you're able to meet here. So this was a real interaction. Yeah, there is an emotional connection here, that soul bond that you feel. Yeah, the 2 of you, 2 of emotions, this connection. And this almost looks like the dream time to me, because the water is often referred to as our subconscious. You know, it's a bit like the ocean, and the sea is almost a kind of visual or energetic representation of the subconscious going under, which is like what happens when if we either are hypnotized or when we go to sleep. It's when our subconscious mind is the most receptive and susceptible, and we can access those hidden parts of our psyche. Yes, it was feeling real. Exactly. A lovely dream. So take that in, believe it. He spoke to you and connected with you, Namira, in the dream time. And maybe that's something now you've kind of accessed that you could go back to that, you know. If that resonates with you, if you feel inspired to do that, to connect there, if you're not able to at the moment connect in the 3D. Victory, success. So this is a hopeful card about, I kind of always see this as getting what you want. And maybe this is a pathway towards to help that manifest. You know, this is another way of communicating with each other. I feel like it will help you on your journey to the 6 of inspiration, to success. Both really beautiful cards, both very positive, uplifting. I just think this is a great thing, kind of a door that's opened for you, and it's up to you, obviously free will, if you kind of want to go deeper into that, or just take this experience as something real and positive that actually happened, and that you've able to communicate with Alexander, and he's let you know where he's at and giving you his answer. Okay. Country, my love, if you were here. I hope country's still here. There she is. Awesome. So Country asks, DJ has been a bit more open, attentive lately. Nice. What's the energy surrounding this sudden burst of affection? Let's have a look. A new perspective, a new way of thinking. Aces is about beginnings, and this is Ace of Voices or Ace of Swords Country. And it's about communication, it's about our mindset, and it's about how we view things and how they think about things. So I think some things might have, who knows what's happened behind the scenes with regards to why this has happened, this change of mindset. There is a wise owl here, so some maybe come to a realization of that maybe he felt like he was losing you, maybe something has happened behind the scenes in his personal life in a separate area that's kind of made him see this connection and you in a different light. It's almost like, looks like a lightning bolt, doesn't it, to the head. Something's given his head a wobble and made him think differently about you and this connection. Tell me more, Spirit. What's changed? More Page of Voices. Interesting. Page of Voices is all about reflection. It's also about gaining new information, which could have brought them clarity. It's almost like they've had a brainwave or they've had a moment of clarity. And this has shifted their energy, yeah? So it can be that this Page of Voices, can you see how there's kind of almost like there's lots of partying energy here, but this energy, this person's energy is like that they're getting serious, you know, they're putting their glasses on and they're getting serious about this now after some reflection. So something has woken them up inside and they are seeing this through a new lens. Like literally, if we take this card, you know, say what we see, they're seeing things clearer. You know, they've put their glasses on and they're seeing things like maybe they value you more. Maybe they see this as that this could be something serious. Maybe they're tired of, I don't know how they spend their spare time, you know, if they're partying or if they're just being kind of a bit flaky. But this is them kind of, something has triggered and made them get more serious about this and get some clarity. Don't be stalking me says being able to walk in the field is the best. Country says that makes sense. The shift did happen after our talk. All right, so maybe it was just that talk, the new information, the communication that you had, that was enough. That was enough. But there's certainly been a shift here. That conversation, maybe it just hit them at the right time, but it gave their head a wobble, Country. So they see things differently now. And from what it sounds like, you know, definitely for the better. They're actually taking it more seriously. Yeah, I got that. Don't be talking about. I understood as soon when I said it out loud, I realised. I thought we were talking about energy fields for a minute, which is also true. It's good to be able to walk in the energy fields. Tia, Tia, Tia. Just so everyone can be ready, so we've got Tia, and then this is who is left, just so you know the order. Oh, and don't be stalking me, sorry, you as well. I don't know where your question is. Here we go. Right. Hey, Tia. Okay, so Tia says, just an energy update on the Pisces. He seemed to be pulled back over the weekend. And then at the last minute, there was rapid fire communication. What's going on with him? No. Oh. Sorry, Divine Timing. I'll read for you as well. It's busy today. Okay, let's see what's going on with your Pisces, Tia. Busy. Just juggling two materials. A lot going on. So Pisces just needs to stay centered, need to stay grounded. I know that they're scrambling a bit with, because this is like money, practicality, you know, materials. They could just have had a lot of, with family, say, like running around. But yeah, having to juggle a lot with these two materials, so there's ups and downs, and that's just simply straightforward of why it's for practical reasons rather than for emotional reasons towards you. Yeah, so reassuring. And he just needs to stay grounded, do what he can, yeah, to stay grounded and centered. Being a Pisces, that's harder than, can be sometimes harder than for others. They get swept away, you know, literally like in the stream. Yeah, feelings towards Tia, please. Nice. Still feeling connected in a strong way. I think, you know, how are they feeling towards you was the question. I would say that there is strong feelings there for you. Take this literally. This is you know, holding the vision, staying tapped in, tuned into your inner strength. And I think this is his energy. I just feel like we're harmonizing, you know, we're connected. Practical stuff may get in the way, but this bond is super strong right now, and it remains that way. Yeah. So lean into that if you can. Trust that, believe that. This is just something relative. It's just practical. It's just kind of superficial. It's not like that their feelings for you are in question. That's what I get from both these cards. Yeah, they both seem bright, positive. There's just your Pisces can just get overwhelmed and has a lot going on right now. Okay, I hope that resonated and was reassuring. Tia says, yes, he's juggling a lot with family, yeah. Okay. Oh. So actually divine timing is next on the list. And then we've got Diamond Girl. T says it is reassuring. Good. I'm glad that you felt that. Country says, answer to the community question. Country is calling in financial abundance. My intuition keeps nudging me towards self-sustainability. Nice, Country. I manifest that for you too. Thank you for sharing. Okay. Hey, Diamond Girl, I read for you after Divine Timing. So this is Divine Timing, who asks, messages from my higher self. Things are going good, good, but the energy is heavy for me. Okay, I have a lot of insecurities coming up that I'm working through. Interesting. Let's see what Spirit says. It can be interesting. Well, not interesting is probably the wrong word, but when things are going well and yet maybe us in ourselves, there is still that heaviness. Let's see what Spirit says. Oh, nice. Four of Inspiration. So this is, it's really about needing to, in this context, I think for you, Divine Timing, about you've come further than you think. It's about celebrating a particular milestone. You either could be nearing a milestone and that you're nearer to that than you think, or you may have passed it, and because maybe you're being hard on yourself or in a kind of self-critical space, that you feel like you put pressure on yourself and you've got more to do and you've got kind of miles to go until you get to where you want to. But the Four of Inspiration is about taking those moments to celebrate the wins. Look at all this beautiful, gentle energy, really, of self-love, of which can sound trite, but really true self-love is a lifetime's work. Yeah, kind of unpicking, like you say, those insecurities. You're doing the work, but try not to also overlook or just pass by or dismiss actually the work that you have already done. Connect to people if you have them in your life, access like people who know you and see your beauty, friendships, or maybe in a group, like say maybe in a yoga class or something, like kind of like-minded people to lift you up and help support you, or share with your insecurities with in a safe space with someone who loves you and knows will lift you up and see the true you, who sees the real you. Divine Timing says, I am very hard on myself, yeah. I've come so far, but new job in a new place. All right, and I feel like I have so much to do, yeah. Let's have a look at this. All right, okay, so this is a very tricky time then, Divine Timing, given all that you've said, that you've got a new job in a new place, you've left everyone back home, like that's going to be heavy for anyone, yeah? Like you say, even if it is going well, that's like massive, yeah? So maybe you're trying to, again, rush over that instead of really take that in, what a huge change that is. Let's see what Spirit says. Ace of Voices is, I think, about maybe that inner saboteur or that critical voice inside. Ace of Voices is like about mindset, about being connected to your truth and communication, but it's also about a kind of, I think in this case for you, divine timing, more of a fresh start about, which sounds like you're trying to do you are doing the work. You're not trying to, you are doing the work. But this is a lot about mindset, and maybe seeing this as an opportunity again that's come up where everything's changed. You're in a very difficult situation, even if it is going well, and being really hard on yourself is really exhausting, and trying to catch yourself and stop that spiral and that particular mindset. Meditate. I don't know if you met. Oh look, these two cards came out earlier. Page of Voices, seeing things clearly. Self-reflection. Sometimes I find that with that negative voice, that inner saboteur, that we have to be really brutal, like back to that voice, and say, I'm not listening to you today, in that moment, or just say, what you're trying to get me to do here isn't true. Like, what you're trying to tell me how this situation is not true. I don't believe you. Like, speak to it as if you would, an enemy in some ways, because often we're told to sort of try to love this inner saboteur back to life, but this inner saboteur can be so vicious and nasty that, sometimes we have to speak to them as if that was a real person who was speaking to us that way. We wouldn't tolerate it. We wouldn't speak to anyone like that, so why are we letting this inner saboteur speak to us like that and be this cruel, be this harsh? I hope that resonates. So because Ace of Voices or Swords is very cutthroat. It just says, I'm not dealing with this. Like, we're not doing this again. We've done this for so long. I want to celebrate how far I've come. I want to celebrate this moment. Like, we're not doing this. That kind of energy. Hope that resonates. Good. It is to say you're catching yourself more now. It is like that. It's like catching yourself in that moment when you find yourself doing it. Okay. Diamond Girl. Diamond Girl, is there any particular, because it's quite general, that question, what blessings are coming towards me? Is there any particular area that you want to look at that's on your mind, that's on your, your focus right now? Hey Theon, I see you. Thanks for letting me know that you're here. We've got Theo, and then if Lovely is still here, last but not least, we have Lovely. And then for anyone who didn't receive a reading today, I think that was everyone, but I'll be live on Friday. So Diamond Girl, like I say, what blessings are coming towards me? Tell me maybe a little something more specific, because that's quite general. Oh, don't be stalking me. Sorry. Thanks. Diamond Girl, Diamond Girl. Hey, Lovely. Okay, I'll have to wait for Diamond Girl to let me know that they're here and elaborate. In love. Okay. Are we single? Are we in a situationship? You know, this is why I ask for context. It allows me, you know, if we're looking at a particular person, are we single? Don't be stalking me. Sorry, I see you. I'm all over the place with the list today. Okay. So what's coming next in love for Diamond Girl? Eight of Voices, something causing you. Now, this can be happening right now, or it can be the near future energy. Something causing you anxiety, worry. It could be about a particular person, if that resonates, or it could be about am I going to be able to connect with anyone? Am I going to be able to find anyone? Ace of Voices is ultimately then reassuring, because it said this is really a kind of prison of our own making when we see Eight of Voices, okay? It's about kind of finding ourselves going to worst case scenarios. But if we can just take off our blindfold, and we can find that we can actually release ourselves from these ties and this mental, it's kind of like being in a negative headspace, really, about it. Look how dark this is, yeah? But it's again, it's kind of going back to mindset and not allowing ourselves, because I understand why it happens, but spiraling and kind of going to that negative place. Now, that can be about a specific person maybe putting you in that, or it could just be the fear around not meeting someone. You know, it could be a million things. Tell what resonates, leave what doesn't with that. So Spirit's just flagging that and just saying, be mindful of that. Again, like what I was speaking about before, about keeping a clean mindset, like for divine timing. Oh, and then we've got some more healing to do as well. I feel like as someone broke your heart here, Diamond Girl, is someone still on your mind? Because Three of Voices, more swords. You know, swords is about some quite tough feelings. Having our Three of Voices is about being heartbroken, being sad, needing still to heal, needing to sort our mindset out, needing to heal. So yes, someone has broken your heart. So the priority right now, it might not be what you want to hear, but it's not about jumping over this and moving on to say new connection, but it's about healing from this still. And this is important to do that, so we don't take it into our next connection, or if we were to return to this person, whatever the future looks like, this is about right now. And there's quite a lot of pain here. So Spirit says, don't try to hop over this. We need to focus on the healing. We need to do some more crying, maybe. We need to do some more talking. We need to work on our mindset. Yeah, I still need a little more healing. You absolutely do, for sure. So put your energy, go all into this, Diamond Girl. If you need to talk to someone as well, like therapy, I don't know if you already do that, but if that's something that you could consider, that could help, because this feels very heavy and I don't want you to have to struggle with this on your own. You may have friends and family who you can speak to, but I feel like it would help to share this, yeah, because it feels very heavy to be stuck with this on your own. It looks like someone's really done a number on you here, yeah? So focus on healing, very much so. Sending love. Sending love. Okay. Theo, my dear. You're welcome, Diamond Girl. Keep us posted. Okay, so this is for Theo. Me and my boyfriend live long distance, and I feel the only time he communicates with me is when he's at work or out and about, and never when he's at home. Okay. Please, can you tell me, Isabel secretly trying to push me to walk away from this relationship so he doesn't feel guilty about wanting to? Maybe there is someone else. Have we looked at this before? And I thought that there wasn't any third party energy. We'll look at it again, obviously, but there wasn't any third party energy. Let's see what's going on with them. I'm going to take this top card. Interesting. So, the story here. I think that there is still love here. There is still feelings here with this Ace of Emotions, okay? The connection is there. The Muse of Voices, this can be either that how they communicate is maybe not always the best. Sometimes, because it's Muse of Voices, this is King of Swords, it can be a little bit harsh or tough. So they're maybe not communicating to you in how that you sounds like you understandably, but you need a bit more reassurance, like particularly with long distance. Yeah, like communication like that is key of how to keep the connection alive and how to keep it in a good place. Yeah, is like lots of texting, FaceTiming, checking in with each other regularly. So this is something, I don't know if you've made that clear to them that that's what you would need, but I would say also embody the kind of Muse of Voice energy yourself and be direct about what's going on for you. And say that you need, if we're going to have this long distance and make it work, I don't want to just feel like I'm just being communicated to in passing. Like we need to have some proper check-in time. So it can be an issue about communication on their side, which it does raise questions and a red flag about, how to navigate long distance. It doesn't necessarily mean, you kind of go to the worst case scenario that he's cheating on you, but it can just be that, about putting in the effort and finding a way that works for you both to make things work with the long distance. And it sounds like he's not managing that yet. And this is Three of Emotions and Eight of Materials side by side is a bit like that. I think maybe they are socializing. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're cheating on you, but they're also working hard with this Eight of Materials. So it's a bit like working hard, playing hard. And it's like they have a whole life there. And at the minute, they're not carving out enough time for you and putting that energy and effort in. And maybe maybe they're working really hard and then they're kind of socializing, maybe going out for drinks, or, sometimes if we're very career focused, it can involve stuff after work stuff as well, socializing. So it is very full, like they've got a lot going on. But if this is going to work going forward, they need to make sure that you feel valued and feel important. And I think that's the issue. That's what's missing. And that's what needs to be addressed. And if they continue to act like this and just sort of communicate with you just in passing, that isn't enough, yeah? It won't be enough. It's not enough for anyone. So communication is at the center of all this, of where the issue sits, and this is what needs to be addressed first. And if they can't step up, if they're not prepared to do that, then that is your question to ask of, is this enough? Is this worth continuing? Yeah, see how they respond to that. Say, it's not. If we're going to do this long distance, just checking in with me in passing, etc., like, isn't going to fly. It's not going to be enough. Yeah. There is some real feelings here, though, so it's worth addressing that. But if they're caught up in the socializing, in being busy and working, it's like, hey, do you want to do this? I still exist over here. Are you going to give me the time to make this work? Because you can't just expect me to be here and wait without you putting in the effort. Long distance is hard, yeah. It's harder work than being close to each other. Okay. Lovely. Theo says, communication is crucial for me. He knows this. I stressed all my concerns, okay? And he begged me not to give up on the relationship, so I would guess I will keep trying, but he knows time is running out. So if you've already made that clear, yeah, then there is a ticking time of how much you're prepared to give that. If he knows that, you've explained that clearly, and he's still not able to respond to that, it sounds like that you are on it anyway. Hey, don't be stalking me. So last two readings, so lovely, and then don't be stalking last but not least. Thank you for sticking around, and thank you Geeta and Namira for still moderating. I appreciate you. Okay, so have I posted? Yes. Lovely's question says, good morning. My partner LG stated that he still wanted to work on things, but I feel like it's only on his terms, okay? I don't know what direction to go. I feel he is hiding something. He claims it's to do with work, but I feel it's more to his story. Okay, let's have a look at this. Let's have a look at his intentions, yeah? He does want to start something fresh. 10 of inspiration is when we're nearing the end of a certain cycle and we're wanting to draw a line under that. Lovely. Okay, so maybe the messiness in the past, the 10 of inspiration, like the burdens, is something is coming to an end, something is closing out with this 10 of inspiration or 10 of wands. So maybe he's getting tired of his own behavior almost. If it's like, I don't know if he's messed you around or if he's made promises that he hasn't kept, or the messiness of it all. Yeah, it's almost like that this is his energy, so he's burnt out somewhere. Something has shifted or is different in him, and he is coming to the end of this and wanting to start something fresh. We've got Three of Voices here, which is about heartbreak and about pain. So I don't know if this is, tell you what resonates, leave what doesn't, of where this lies. That if has he broke your heart with his behavior, so this is why you have these questions and are still healing, and that you understandably aren't ready to like just jump back in. If he's hurt you in the past and you say it's on his terms, etc., you feel he's hiding something. All this says to me is, you know, that the trust isn't there yet from past pain where he's broken that trust. And really it's up to you, obviously, about how you want to move forward with this, to take the risk, which it is a risk, to see if he really can see this through and change his behavior. But allow yourself some grace and some time to really see, for him to prove himself. Yeah, there's no rush here. Don't put pressure on yourself to make a decision right now. Don't put pressure on yourself to move past the hurt maybe that he's caused you. And if you feel like, oh, I've got to get over this, I've got to jump back in, it's like, absolutely not. It's like, you know, if there's been damage done that's on their side and they're coming back to you and he wants to work on things, that's going to require patience on his side, and it's going to require time and consistency, all that stuff, you know, which you will soon find out if someone's able to do that or not. Yeah, you'll soon realize in their behavior if they actually are able to back up what they're telling you. So we're in a transition stage here. Yeah, but they are genuinely coming to some kind of change within themselves. Let's see if they succeed. Yeah, they may fail the mission, but they do want to, and they want to try, and this feels genuine. But, you know, here's some hurt and pain. This is the reality of what damage maybe that they've done, and that can't just be forgotten. Final message. Ooh, look at that. The Sun, though, the happiest card in the deck. I think this is about following what makes you happy and your inner peace. Does trying this again, does it make you feel like that this is possible? Like, is it possible that this person could make you this happy because this is what you deserve? The Sun is the happiest card in the deck. If you think of the warmth of the sun and the healing that it can bring, did they ever make you happy? Do you think it lies with this person? What takes you nearer to your happiness? What takes you further away? Your higher self, your intuition will let you know. Does giving this person a second chance, does it make you feel lifted? Does it make you feel Or does it make you feel apprehensive and fearful? Do you know what I mean? It's like your intuition, your higher self is trying to speak to you. Does this person take you closer to this sun, the happiness? Don't Be Stalking Me says, I like the Black Eyes card. Yeah, it's a powerful card. 3 of Voices. Pain, you know, here, crying, the tears, the pain. You know, when someone does this, we can't just forget that, yeah? Someone has to put the work in and prove themselves and allow you the grace and time to heal if we want to get here. If we want to find this true happiness. Okay, I'll leave it there. I hope that resonated. Okay, last but not least, Don't Be Stalking Me, who has waited very patiently. Thanks, Namira, for moderating. Lovely says, yes, I constantly replay the past, but I feel he's trying, but with slow effort. I'm scared he would go back to that, besides his busy schedule. So far, so good. Take your time, lovely. Take your time. Don't let them rush you. Don't let them pressure you, you know. Ask yourself regularly, is this bringing me closer to my happiness or taking me further away? Okay, so Don't Be Stalking Me. Are you wanting to keep with the same question? I'm posting it here. But if you need to... Oh. Okay, so Don't Be Stalking Me says, so it's safe to say I've been spoiling A since we've rekindled. I can't help but wonder if she'll return the favour. Yes, that's good, says Don't. Cool. If she'll return the favour for my birthday. I'm always doing for everyone. Will I be having a birthday finally with a partner? Can we get the energy on that, please? Yes, we can. Okay. Let's have a look around the energy around your birthday, about needing to feel appreciated by A. I mean, these are promising cards. We've got Ace of Emotions here, which is about, it's kind of like your new love story, your rekindling. I think you feel things deeply, and I think maybe you fall hard and you fall quickly when you do. I think we have to be careful, not have we got A on a pedestal as well, and like you need to not, I don't know if you put yourself, if you feel maybe you need to kind of prove your love, or ask yourself a little bit about where this is coming from. If you feel less than her, if you don't feel like worthy of her, because you see how it's like she's very imposing in this card and in this energy. And we just need to be mindful of that and to see that you are also equally as important, deserve to be put on a pedestal in a way, you know, you are the prize, you know, you need to be able to be valued and shine as well. The Hierophant, how we protect ourselves in some ways to this, the Hierophant's about kind of playing it by the rule book, not doing anything rash, you know, taking things slow. And if you are someone who feels a lot and falls hard, it can feel like against your nature to do that, to slow down, to pull back, to put some rules in place. But it really is about self-preservation. You know, these lanterns that light the way, like, will unfold before you about what the next step is. Don't so you say, she's older, so I try to be more for her, but also learning about me. So understand that, you know, like, you're a catch for her as well. Maybe, like you say, you look up to her, which there's nothing inherently wrong with that, but as long as we're not giving our power away to someone. I'm going to pull one more about her feelings towards you to get more of a read on her, because I feel like her energy is quite hidden. I don't know if that comes across to you as well. She's someone maybe who's hard to read or is hard to know what's gonna, you know, how they really feel. We got this last time, you see, for her as well, because I think there's, like, there may be someone who has a tendency to like to keep their options open, and they do have trouble with getting serious. Because this Three of Emotions has come through again for her, which I think is like, the Three of Emotions likes to kind of, is a bit like player energy, or likes to play the field, likes to keep options open. It's not to say that this won't change, but there is some kind of, there's someone who struggles to maybe go deep with connections and feels more comfortable in something a bit more superficial. So I feel like, so are you stuck on someone else as well, rather than her? I just want to get I think you just be mindful about getting the balance right with, this is a new love opportunity, Ace of Emotions. I feel like she is maybe talking to other people, or is still not locked in on this, or just committed to you. The only way to protect yourself is to, you know, play by the rules. Try not to put her on a pedestal too much. Yeah, she's newly single, kind of trying to be sneaky, but it's not official. I'm just like, okay, me too then. Yeah, sure. So you're happy, so there's no need to be sneaky, is there? So you can be quite blunt about that to her as well, to maybe try to stop her, like, doing that behavior, really. I'm going to need to be strong with this one. Strength, like we talked about before, this came up quite a few times today, collective energy. So be strong, but be flexible, so you don't have to be rigid. It sounds like you're in a good place, really, about your expectations of this. See how it unfolds. But yeah, maybe she's a bit of a tricky character, you know this. And and you will have to be strong and like quite bold with her as well. Like, don't put up with her BS. You're surprised to be invited to her family stuff, so that's progress. You know, that shows that she obviously likes your company and has feelings enough to invite you. I do feel like there is potential here. There is real feelings here. So see how this goes. See how this unfolds. Stay strong, be strong, but like be flexible like the bamboo. We don't need to be rigid, but understand she's a tricky character, and protect yourself by sticking to your set of rules, like what's okay for you. Yeah. Interesting. I think she's a complex character. Keep us posted. Okay. I'm going to end the live there, guys. Thank you so much for joining today. Thank you, Geeta, for your kind words. Thank you for moderating, Geeta. Thank you for moderating, Namira. Don't Be Stalking says, right, I'm watching and I'm open, but I'm watching. Exactly the right attitude. You got it. It's going to be interesting, I think, so it's going to be interesting. And thank you, Namira, yeah, for moderating. Makes my life a lot easier. So I will catch you on, if I wasn't able to read for you today, I'll be live again on Friday, so I'll open the reading list on Thursday. But until then, take care of yourself and love and light so much to you all. I'm just, Krishna, I'm ending the live now, but join us on Friday. Love and light, guys. Love and light.